Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars in the second house in the natal chart. Now, first off, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mars placements in the houses, and they were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, well, Mars in the second house is is comparable to Mars in Taurus, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign with it. Mars in Taurus in the second house can be different than Mars in Scorpio in the second house, as an example. Now, first off, Mars in astrology is connected with our drive and motivation. So naturally, this placement can indicate, tremendous drive, motivation, incentive to make money, generate income, accumulate, acquire material possessions, resources, and also developing latent talents and abilities. And making profits. There may be a lot of drive in buying and selling. This could be somebody that has a lot of garage sales, as an example, is into buying and selling items. It may be somebody that may be proficient at buying items at a certain price and then selling them later on to make a profit, because there could be a lot of activity and enthusiasm in this part of one's life, the second house. So, and also, too, there may be a lot of drive and motivation to simply have peace and tranquility in one's life, to have stability, financial stability, and comfort, to have those creature comforts as well. We are talking about the second house, which corresponds with Taurus. So, well, next thing up, with Mars. Mars is also connected with our vitality and energy. The ascendant and sun naturally play a role in this, but Mars plays a role in our energy and vitality as well. When you have Mars positive in the second house, a lot of that energy, may go into, again, making money, generating income, accumulating material possessions, developing latent talents and abilities. It could be doing things, that one values. Say if Mars is in Scorpio in the second house, as an example, it could be matters, with transformation, ending things, the occult, which includes astrology, dealing with crisis. These are things, with giving support. Those are things, which one may, value on, in that example. And it could be, no, well, not could be, the second house is also about our self-worth. So, physical exercise, expending energy, on the things, could be, what we're, someone may be productive and may do wonders and help immensely for one's self-worth, self-esteem, and how one feels about oneself. Now, Mars is also associated with physical injuries. So, we're talking about the second house of Taurus. So there may be, some cases, some injuries connected with the throat and neck, thyroid, the ears. In some cases, it may be, just rushing to do things with, trying to make money. Accidents do happen. Um, it could be over furniture, one's home, doing, and also too, having displacement. Sometimes it could just be by being too, let's say, methodical, deliberate, plotting in one's movements, not getting out of the way of something in time, may actually, may have some connection, with some kind of physical injury to this person. It could be, somebody seriously cuts themselves shaving, in their throat, neck area. So it's something just to be, careful and prudent about. Now, another thing, about Mars in astrology, it's associated with action and our actions. So, there may be a lot of, action and activity, connected with buying and selling, trying to acquire, material possessions, making money, generating income, whatever it is the person may be doing in terms of making money. If Mars is in Gemini in the second house, as an example, it may be something, with manual dexterity or some form of, communication. Could be driving, being a driver for some company, uh, or maybe just doing, manifold variety of things. And another thing, it could be where there's a lot of action in matters with buying and selling, banking, trying to make that profit. The actions may be very, deliberate, methodical, and plotting as well, and also doing, whatever it is, what one may value. In action in matters with, it could be augmenting or improving, one's self-worth, self-esteem, and how one feels about oneself. Now, Mars is also, associated with sex and sexual partners, and when you have Mars posited in the second house in the natal chart, there may be, sexual matters may be ones in which you're very, where you express a lot of sensuality or being demonstrative. You may want to go about, sex in a more, deliberate, methodical manner than most people. Um, it could be where you're very persistent in this matters of your life. Just be careful that you're not, pursuing, someone that is, not really, is basically apathetic and not interested, and, wasting your time. Second house could be very stubborn energy, to say the least. In sexual matters, with sexual partner, you may be somebody that is very, stable, loyal, steadfast and steady and trustworthy as well. You may be someone that doesn't, waver, too much, or, overly vacillating, going from one, person to another. And naturally, you got to look at the zodiac sign Mars is in as well. If Mars is, say, an immutable sign and positive in the second house, there may be a little more changeability in that part of one's life than otherwise indicated. Now, Mars is also connected with our physical strength. So a lot of the physical strength, may go, into, matters, connected with making money. It could be where one may work at a position where physical strength is really emphasized, whether it could be stocking, working in a warehouse. It could be moving items, moving furniture, as some examples. It may also be, a lot of physical strength. It may be, maybe it's used to develop, some kind of, latent talent or ability. It may be, doing something, matters of physical strength may be very auspicious to one's self-worth, self-esteem, and how one feels about oneself. And the thing about this too is, in matters of physical strength, may be done, again, in that very, methodical, deliberate way, since we are talking about the second house that is connected with the zodiac sign Taurus. Now, Mars is also associated with anger. And this is somebody that might become a little more agitated over matters pertaining to material items, their possessions, more so than most. You may find this person become a little more irate over, let's say, money, that somebody, had borrowed from him or her, and, not, and doesn't bring it back, or if money is taken without asking. These are things where the person may become more incensed about than most people, and also, matters connected with values and, one's, self-worth as well. These can be areas where, the matters, if the person's self-worth is low, this is where, person may be a little bit more, become more exasperated, more irritated than most others on average. Now, another thing is that Mars in astrology is associated with our enthusiasm. And Mars in the second house, naturally, a person may be very enthusiastic about, making money, whatever it is they're doing to get material items, and, the development of latent talents and abilities. It could be, doing things that are connected, one's self-worth, things that one values, let's say if Mars is in the zodiac sign Cancer in the second house, those things that one may value may be, pertaining to the home, the family, could be introverted activities, even laundry, plumbing, cooking, doing some kind of home renovation, remodeling, roofing, siding, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.